I'm so curious about the Burning Man experience of pure peace. Can you share with us a little bit more of what kind of peace that you felt?
To be honest, I'm not sure how to explain it or convey it. I think the simplest way that I've been able to somehow simplify it almost to the point of silliness is that when you have interaction at sufficiently deep levels of awareness, peace is inevitable. And so the question is, how do you cultivate that quality of awareness and quality of presence? And that doesn't mean there isn't conflict, there isn't things that don't come up, but when I can be present to the things that come up and when I can communicate about them in a way that you can be present to those things as well, and I can be present to you, then we have the conditions for a completely different quality of connection and communication. And for me, that brings us much closer to peace because it allows us to be present to what's in the space, to the space of our interaction, to the space of our interbeing, and it allows us to navigate that with intelligence in a way that invites more creativity. And as virtual reality technology becomes more advanced, it's likely to become more and more integrated with our nervous system, so there'll be much more vivid sense of reality to those. And on the other side of that, there's also the danger of, is it possible to really feel and feel felt in a virtual environment? And I don't know the answer to that question, right? Is it possible to, like, here I am, and you could be a virtual avatar, but would I be able to really feel you? What am I feeling on the other side of that screen? Like here in this context, I can be with you, and so you show up in my physical system in a particular way. For example, the Presencing Institute, which is founded by Otto Scharmer, who's a professor at MIT, has a great body of work called the 4 Levels of Listening. And this is one of my introductions to listening that also really helped me expand my just initial relationship to listening, which is they break it into 4 levels. So it starts with downloading, then there's factual, empathic, and then there's generative. Downloading is where just I know what I know and I don't really pay attention to any other evidence outside me. Factual is much more scientific, is that I compare what I know against like evidence that I collect from the world. Empathic is where I also really tune into what another person's perspective might be. I'm willing to put myself into their shoes and see the world from the view of another person. And generative is that I'm receptive to what wants to emerge.